You're at a party, or a work function, or a family gathering. Someone approaches you with that familiar smile. "So, how are you?" Your stomach drops. Your brain races for an escape route. You answer with the standard, "Good, you?" But inside, you're already calculating the minimum time before you can politely exit. If this feels familiar, you're not alone. Most people think you hate small talk because you're antisocial, or shy, or socially awkward. But psychology reveals something completely different. You don't hate people. You crave something deeper. Today we're going to decode the psychology behind why small talk feels so draining, why some people are wired for depth, and, most importantly, how to turn shallow conversations into genuine connections. But before we get to the solution, we need to understand the mechanics. Because the reason you hate small talk isn't what you think, and understanding it might change everything. Let's start with something simple. Think of your social energy like a battery. When you have a conversation that feels meaningful, that battery charges. You feel alive, connected, present. But when you engage in surface-level chit-chat, that battery drains. Why does this happen? It's not because you're antisocial. It's because small talk requires effort without reward. For introverts and deep thinkers, every shallow exchange is like running on a treadmill. You're moving, but you're not going anywhere. Think about the last time you had a conversation that felt effortless, where time flew by. What made that different? Here's where the science gets interesting. In 2010, researchers at the University of Arizona did something fascinating. They followed 79 participants for 4 days, recording their conversations and measuring their happiness. They found something striking. The happiest people in the study had twice as many substantive conversations, and only 1/3 the amount of small talk. The lead researcher, Matthias Mail, put it this way: the happiest person in the study had twice as many substantive conversations and only 1/3 the amount of small talk as the unhappiest person. But here's where the story gets more interesting. 8 years later, Mail published a follow-up study. He found something surprising. Small talk isn't actually bad. It's that deep conversation is so good that it outshines everything else. Think about it this way. Small talk is like plain rice. Deep conversation is like a perfectly cooked meal. The rice isn't bad. It's just that the meal is so much better, that's the difference. But there's another layer. People who hate small talk often value authenticity. They hate the superficial, the performative, the fake. Psychologist Lori Helgo, who wrote the book Introvert Power, argues that small talk actually blocks honest interaction. She said, "Introverts do not hate small talk because we dislike people. We hate small talk because we hate the barrier it creates between people." Think about it. When you ask someone, "How are you?" you already know the answer. The only socially acceptable response is "Good, thanks." You're not actually asking, they're not actually answering. It's a script, a performance. For people wired for depth, this feels like a lie, and your brain notices. Think about the last time someone asked you, "How are you?" and you actually told them the truth. How did that feel? There's one more piece to this puzzle. For some people, small talk isn't just draining, it's terrifying. Social anxiety makes small talk harder because it triggers fear of judgment, awkward silences, being perceived as boring or stupid. One study of 1,000 people found that 40% said they were shy to the point of it being a problem. And here's the kicker. People with social anxiety often have a stronger desire to connect. They just fear they'll mess it up. So they avoid small talk, which makes connection harder, which makes them feel more isolated, which makes the anxiety worse. It's a vicious cycle. But here's the good news. Understanding the cycle is the first step to breaking it. Here's where things get tricky. If you hate small talk, the natural response is to avoid it. And that makes sense in the short term. It protects you from discomfort. But here's the problem. If you never make small talk, you'll never make a new friend, or go on a first date, or close a business deal. Small talk is the social lubricant that gets you through the door. Psychologists call this the entry point to relationships. You can't skip to depth without going through the shallow part first. But here's where the paradox deepens. Avoiding small talk doesn't just prevent connection, it actually makes connection harder. When you avoid small talk, you send a signal. the other person perceives you as closed off, or uninterested, or rude. The other person stops trying, and the connection is lost before it even begins. So we have a paradox. You hate small talk, but avoiding it makes connection harder. What do? The answer isn't to force yourself to like it. That never works. The answer is to use it differently. First, change how you think about it. Don't see small talk as a destination. See it as a bridge. The skilled conversationalist knows that small talk is just the opening act, the warm-up, the handshake before the hug. You don't have to stay there. You just have to pass through it. Here's the secret. When small talk strays off script, it can become a window into another person's inner life. Instead of asking, "What do?" Try something like, "What's the highlight of your week?" Instead of, "Where are you from?" Try, "What's something interesting about where you grew up?" This works because people actually enjoy being asked interesting questions. It breaks the script. It signals that you're different. And when you signal that you're different, you give the other person permission to be different too. Here are a few simple techniques from psychology research. First, look for visible interests. Band t-shirts, museum tote bags, books. These are invitations to skip the script and start a real conversation. Second, ask for recommendations. People love sharing their opinions, and they feel closer to you when you ask. Third, pretend you're a regular. Smile, make eye contact, have a genuine interaction. And here's a reassuring statistic. 87% of the time, when you engage with a stranger, they engage back. The rejection you fear, it happens less than you think. So here's the framework. Step 1. Change how you frame it. Small talk is not the main event, it's the opening act. Step 2. Follow your curiosity. Ask one deeper question. Step 3. Accept imperfection. You don't need to be socially perfect, nobody is. Step 4. Lower the bar. Be willing to make mistakes, because everyone else does too. So here's the truth. You don't hate small talk because you're broken. You hate it because you're wired for depth. The people who love small talk aren't better at it. They just don't need as much meaning from every exchange. They're not deeper, and you're not shallower. Your craving for depth isn't a flaw, it's a gift. But here's the reconciliation. Small talk isn't a waste of time, it's a bridge. It's how you signal friendliness before you get to the real stuff. And the skilled conversationalist knows how to use it as a tool, not a trap. You don't have to become a different person. You just have to shift your relationship with small talk from seeing it as a trap to seeing it as a tool, from avoiding it to using it. As someone once said, speak only if it improves upon the silence. You don't hate people, you crave depth. And that's not a flaw, it's a gift that needs a strategy. What's the most meaningful conversation you've ever had? Or what's one question you wish people would ask you instead of "How are you?" Let me know in the comments below. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe. We're building a community of people who want to understand themselves better and connect more deeply, because understanding the psychology of connection is just the beginning. To see how your brain is actively working against you in other ways, click the video on your screen. Stay curious, stay aware.